Now to the Biden presidency. Tomorrow, President Joe Biden will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in one of the most highly anticipated meetings between two world leaders. President Biden's overseas trip is in the final stretch. The showdown between the two is expected to tackle heavy topics during an hours-long meeting tomorrow in Geneva.
It all comes at a time here when U.S.-Russia relations are at a really low point. CBS 4's Natalie Brand is in Washington, D.C. live right now with what to expect. Natalie.
And Keith, Lauren, this will be the biggest test on President Biden's first foreign trip since he took office. This meeting is expected to last 4 to 5 hours, but senior administration officials say there's also some flexibility built into tomorrow's schedule. The list of key issues is long.
All eyes are on Geneva, Switzerland, where in less than 24 hours, President Biden will meet face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
President, are you ready for tomorrow? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Earlier, the president sat down with the Swiss president, the country hosting the high-stakes summit. Senior administration officials say Wednesday's meeting is expected to last several hours. Recent cyber attacks and ransomware will be among issues topping the agenda.
There is plenty of proof that a number of cyber attacks in the past few years have come from Russia.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo spoke to CBS News from Brussels, where she met with U.S. and European business leaders who have expressed concern.
I think there's a growing recognition that cyber attacks are going to increase in number and in severity, and we all have to be a lot more vigilant.
In addition to cyber attacks, other key issues will include human rights, election interference, and Russian aggression towards Ukraine.
CBS News got a rare look at one of the front lines of the conflict, which began in 2014 when Russia sent unmarked military forces to occupy the southern portion of Crimea in Ukraine.
Why should ordinary Americans care what's happening here in Ukraine?
It can be tomorrow at their houses.
Ahead of his meeting with Putin, President Biden enthusiastically stressed U.S. solidarity with European allies. Earlier today, the U.S. and EU announced a deal to end the 17-year-old Airbus-Boeing trade dispute, reaching a 5-year agreement to suspend tariffs.
Now, Senator Marco Rubio, who is vice chairman on the Senate Intelligence Committee, sent a letter to President Biden dated today, urging him to be strong with President Putin on the issue of cyber, saying that he hopes that he makes clear that Russia will be met with a strong response if there are future cyber attacks. Lauren?
Natalie, obviously the meeting in and of itself will make headlines, but are we expecting any major agreements to come from this meeting?
Well, senior administration officials were asked that very question by reporters today, and they indicated really that we should not expect a set of deliverable actions to come from this meeting tomorrow, but rather the presidents could ask their teams to work on specific areas that were talked about. And they also made clear that two of the top goals are to talk about areas of potential cooperation between the U.S. and Russia, and then, of course, to make very clear what the U.S. national interests are and what kind of behavior from Russia, what kind of aggressions could elicit a response from the U.S. Lauren?
Natalie Brand, live for us in Washington, D.C. Thank you. Look for much more on the Biden presidency tonight on the CBS Evening News with Norah O'Donnell. That's at 6:30 after CBS 4 News at 6.